have the amazing Michael Olivieri, frontman and guitarist of Leatherwolf, on the line with Forever in Metal. We're going to discuss Rock Harvest 2012, Leatherwolf news, his solo band, M.O.B, and more. How's it going, Michael?
Hey, it's going great, Lyle. How you doing?
Good
Thanks
deal.
for having me.
Keeping it hard and heavy.
Nice. Just hanging out here in California, like watching the sunset over the ocean. About to go down here, pretty cool, and chat for a little bit with you while I watch this amazing California sunset happen. These nice clouds. Rain today.
Yeah, I heard that, I have some friends that are out in that coast, and they were talking about they're out
like,
jogging.
You're in California when the big news is it rained today.
Yeah, that was the funny thing. They're like, yeah, I'm going out jogging, and I'm in my T-shirt, and all of a sudden, oh my God, it's raining. I better run back to my house and put on something a little bit more, weather friendly as far as that goes. But opposite end of the spectrum, down here, we've been getting so much rain. It's ridiculous. Like, please stop raining. Just give us a day or two, and finally today, perfect harvest weather. As far as that goes. So it's finally open the windows and breathe fresh air rather than sticky 85-degree humidity.
Yeah.
Cool
Good.
Deal. Now, speaking of harvest weather, how did you get involved with Fallen Blue and Rock Harvest 2012?
Cool. I guess social media on Facebook, John Garnieri hit me up and asked me if I wanted to be a part of it and told me about the event, and I'm all about doing, charity events, and, it's not always about making a dollar, so it's a good event. Some good people are going to be on the bill, and it sounds like a lot of fun and a great event, so, I'm always up for a good time and a good cause.
Yeah, I'm very excited about going up there, too, so I'll get a chance to meet you in person. I'll be making the trek a couple of days ahead of time from South Florida going to Towson, so I'm very excited about that as well.
Nice.
Awesome,
I'll be up there Friday
Bill.
night. Friday night, I guess we're going to be doing a little party and a little meet and greet, and guess there's some festivities going on the night before, so look forward to that as well.
Yeah, pre-party festivities, and then the concert, and then after-party festivities, and then everybody goes, their separate ways as far as that goes.
We're having fun already just thinking about it.
Well, it's going to come up very, very soon as far as that goes. Now, at the Rock Harvest 2012, some bands are doing electric, some are doing acoustic. Are you going to do acoustic or electric, or maybe a combination of both?
Well, since I'm just coming by myself and I'm not going to have a band with me, I figure I'll probably get the songs over better with an acoustic guitar than by myself with an electric guitar. So, to answer your question, I would be leaning towards an acoustic set, yeah.
Okay, that's awesome.
Banging out a short acoustic set. I don't even know how long the sets are. I'm sure I'll probably get a few songs in there. But,
yeah, I know it starts at 1 o'clock, and I think the venue closes at 2 a.m., so I'm sure that they'll give you a pretty decent set as far as that goes.
Oh, it doesn't matter. It's as long, somewhere up there and do my thing, just be able to be a part of the event's cool. There's going to be seeing a lot of familiar faces and meeting some new ones, and don't make it out to the East Coast too much, so I'm looking forward to the trip.
When you do your
Baltimore's
set,
a great place.
do...
We played out there a couple times back in the day. I heard it's closed down now, but Hammerjacks is always a fun place to go in Baltimore. But from what I heard is, go ahead.
No, you finish.
Oh yeah, I was saying from what I heard it's closed down now, where they were building a new Hammerjacks, but it's a cool little 3-story club. It's a place we used to hang out and hit Baltimore.
Yeah, they don't have that many cool clubs anymore. The ones that they'll knock them down, build something bigger, and and go from there. And the bands that can't do the huge places, there's not that many places anymore for good bands to play as far as that goes in some of the areas. But I know the theater that they're having it at is at least house 600 people, so it's going to be a good place.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
Now, when you do doing the set list, are you going to do anything from Leatherwolf or some of your solo stuff off of M.O.B?
I would probably hit him with at least a song off my new solo stuff from the M.O.B record, and then depends on how long I play. But yeah, I do a acoustic solo set, and I play some Leatherwolf songs in that set as well. So probably a mixture of both.
Any ones in particular?
I don't know. What would you like to hear?
I don't know, the whole catalog from Leatherwolf. I mean, I'm a big fan, so anything that you choose to play, I'll be elated, because I was one of the unfortunate few to never get to see you guys play live. And I tried to, I was talking with Larry Morand, saying, can you bring these guys on the cruise ship? Last year and this year, and I posted some stuff on the Leatherwolf fan page, and like, yeah, we're all for it. So I'm like, Larry, here's a message. Here you go. And then he said he was talking to you guys, and I don't know where it went from there. So anything you play from Leatherwolf.
You know what? I tried to get on that gig, but I guess it was filled up, or guess I hit him up too late. But from Leatherwolf stuff, I mean, one of my favorites to play in an acoustic version as well is like Gypsies and Thieves. Is I always like that song with the different moods it has, and except the only problem is what do you do when it comes across the Jeff Gayer shredding solo, acoustic. So, but a few years ago, we played Share a Dream when we brought a church choir in to do the backup parts. That was pretty cool. As far as some old stuff, like what's some of your favorites set?
I mean, anything off of, Street Ready. I mean, you can't, that album, to me is just one of the best albums of the era. That's my opinion. So you can't really get any better than that as far as the harmonies. Well, as far as the harmonies with the guitars and, everything else, it was it fit in the hair metal genre, but kind of really didn't to a certain extent that really makes any sense. And it was just really when you heard you guys that first song came out, and you just looked at it like, huh? And you wanted to turn it up more and take more of a listen. And I've always been, a huge fan. So I'm excited, to see whatever you perform.
It's tough to make as a one acoustic guitar. It's tough to make it do the songs justice, because not only were they just songs, but they were made up of parts. It was more of a lot of different parts made up a song, and the three guitars that we had that actually was part of the song. So to try to do the songs justice with one vocal and an acoustic guitar is quite the challenge. So pick the songs carefully, which ones you try to do.
Yeah, I think that's a challenge with anything that's written that way, and trying to, strip it down a little bit and doing it on acoustic. There's always going to be that challenge. Don's doing the same thing. I think he's bringing, actually he's going to have Mark Bowles on stage with him, and I guess they'll both be singing, their harmonies and playing guitar parts, so there'll be two guitars. So, you cannot obviously emulate the shredding guitar from Leatherwolf and put it on acoustic, especially with one guy. But anything I think that you're going to perform, from that album, even your M.O.B, CD, I think it's just going to be a treat within itself. So either which way is going to be amazing.
Have you heard anything off the M.O.B CD?
Actually, yes. I've been listening to it for the last couple of days, and through the social media off of Spotify, I've been, posting that you're going to be there at Rock Harvest 2012 with the link to buy the tickets and the songs that's going through social media. So I've listened to it quite a bit, and it's blues, it's country, it's rock. As far I think your tagline is Smoky Mountain Rock Blues entwined with something, everything, all in one. So it's different, but it's awesome.
Well, thanks. It's quite the departure of what Leatherwolf does. So sometimes it can be disappointing to someone or refreshing to someone. So I've seen it taken both ways, and so it's musically it's closer to what I'm all about, and my passions for music and the different instrumentation and genre styles. That album's all everywhere from country to R&B to blues, and So it's a little bit all over the map, but I'm really proud of it. I think it's some of my best work that I've done in my lifetime. So I can continue to write songs and continue to make records. Leatherwolf's writing, and we'll hopefully have another record out in 2013. So we'll continue to stay busy.
Well, that's good. We'll jump ahead to that question. You just said that Leatherwolf is writing an album or CD now, and it's going to be ready for 2013. You said.
Yeah, we've made the mistake of saying, we're going to write a record and it's going to be out at this day, but, I'll back up a little bit and I'll say we're writing and we hope to have it out in 2013, when it's done and it's ready, we'll put it out there. But, we're all, have you heard any of the New World Asylum? I think that was released in 2008, maybe 2009.
Yes, and that's going into another segue. I know that they had two versions, one with Wade Black, and then you came in and redid it with your vocals. Why did the band choose to re-record that album?
Well, Wade was only in the band for a couple months. He recorded the record, and he stepped out. And I've always remained friends with the guys, and I was in the studio with them doing some background vocals, and they had a European thing going on, and he couldn't do it, or something went down where he wasn't going to be a part of it. So they asked me to do it, and I was like, well, how about for a European release we re-record the vocals, and so at least I felt kind of silly going out there and touring on somebody else's tracks. So we released it, and not to take anything away from what Wade did, because Wade did a great job on that, but if I was going to be a part of it, I felt like I wanted to have my voice on at least the European recordings to back up the tour that we were going out there to do.
Well, that was definitely a good choice because, no offense to White either, but you are and was and still are the voice behind Leatherwolf, so nobody really can emulate your style, and I think that was a good step in that direction to do something like that. Really, no other band has done that. As far as I know, I haven't done too much research into it, but it was definitely,
leave it to us to confuse people. we recorded and released 2 records, self-titled. So that's something that always comes back to people.
Well, no, it's definitely needed. It's the vocal range. I mean, both of you are great vocalists, but again, you are, I've said it before, and you're definitely the voice of Leatherwolf, so having that re-stamped and redone, with your style behind it, it fits a little bit better, as far as that goes.
I try not to derive too far from what they came up with, what Wade and Jeff did, but try to keep myself into it, but because Wade did set a pretty high bar on that. He did a great job, and
yes, he did.
I probably wouldn't have sang as rough as I did had not been laid down. I probably would have been a little more smooth and melodic in some of the stuff. But I kind of felt that I was always trying to keep up. So that was a good challenge because Wade's got a real powerful voice, and the tracks came out extra good, I think, because of it. So, all good things happen for a reason.
Very true. I was a fan of when he did Crimson Glory, which was big shoes to fill, too. When he had to fill your shoes and then they had to fill Midnight's, those are very, very big shoes to fill on both ends. And he did a great job on everything that he's done. So, kudos to him. Hats off to him as well.
Yeah, he's a good guy as well.
Cool deal. Now, since you're going to hopefully release the new Leatherwolf in 2013, is there any touring scheduled for either Leatherwolf or M.O.B?
We're working on that. We haven't released it yet, but we've been recording some of the live stuff, and we have a live record that's also going to be coming out before a studio one would be released. But Roy Z's been mixing it, and it's pretty spectacular. It's like some of the best sounding tracks of us live that I've heard by far. So we have an agent working on some shows for us. Some are penciled in, but we don't have any definite things I could talk about. I know that they're pitching Alcatraz and Leatherwolf around.
Wow.
So that's something that we're working on. And as far as the M.O.B goes, I've made a few videos on the record, and we played some shows. And when I got 7 people in that band, and they're all talented guys and all real busy guys. So it's really hard for me to get everybody together and get stars almost have to align for that band to play sometimes.
Yeah. It's a daunting task.
So in the meantime, I'm just writing songs and pitching in a baseball league. That's been kind of keeping me busy, but season's over now, and kind of looking to get back into to making some more records and playing some shows. One day Rock Harvest Festival. It's going to be a blast in November.
Very true, November 10th to be exact. Now, since you're doing baseball, you're in the out in the West Coast. Who's your team out there?
I'm an Angels guy. Angels kind of let me down at the last minute this year.
Well, I'm born and raised in New England, so the Red Sox really let me down this year, so we're kind of in the same boat.
Yeah, they kind of were let down this year.
Big time. So I guess they're going to rebuild and restructure, and they have a lot of things to do to get their play up to par again, and hopefully compete, not be at the bottom of our division. So
well, they beat up on the Yankees a few times, so I'll give them that.
Yeah, that counts for if you're a diehard Red Sox fan, but it doesn't count in the standings.
Right,
so
yeah.
They didn't knock them out, unfortunately, as far as that goes.
Yeah.
But Baltimore, hopefully they pull through and are able to do something for the Yankees and give them a run. It was a letdown the other night for them, but maybe they'll pull something out and come back as far as that goes. Now, when you were talking about some of your songs on Leatherwolf and that you particularly like and that you might do on acoustic, when the full band is together, do you have a particular song that you like to play live, and why?
I always like looking down and seeing Gypsies and Thieves on the set list that comes up next. That one's always fun. Wicked Ways just has so much power with the 3 guitars that always puts chills, When that first chord comes in and there's 3 guitars doing their thing, and we're locked in, it's a pretty powerful feeling. So that's always a good one to play. Anytime we break into the triple solos when we're locked in and we're doing it, that's one of the highlights for me of what we're all about, and what makes me feel good about Leatherwolf is the triple axe attack. Not to take away from Dean or Pat and their parts, but that has and kind of always will be our strong point.
Of course.
I don't feel like we write great songs, but I feel like we approach them good in the way we arrange and put the parts down. Well,
it's, as far as top to bottom, it's a good mix with the drum, it's a good mix with the bass, and 3 guitars. I mean, I'm pretty sure that Leatherwolf was the first band doing so, if I'm not mistaken. And to have that and you singing as well on top of everything, it's just, instrumentally, it's just an amazing format as far as that goes.
Well, thanks. Yeah, we didn't really... We're inspired by any bands that had 3 guitars, because I think back in the day the only ones I did was like Leonard Skinner and Molly Hatchet, and that wasn't really our trip. But what we were excited about, like early Maiden records and Scorpion stuff and even Priest, there was a lot of overlays with guitars and overdubs. And so when Leatherwolf first started in 1981, we were just a cover band. We were playing all that stuff. I think it was not until about 83 that we were offered an opening show with Accept at the Concert Factory, and we had to play all originals, so we kind of just threw a set list of originals together, and I think it was just the whole set was instrumental, because we just that's what we were doing. So, and it was just a lot of guitar work. So that's how we kind of started about. It's always been based upon around the three guitars, even before a song.
Can you can you find that anywhere? That concert where it's just all instrumental?
You know what? That was like before, recording things and before everybody had iPhones and whatnot and apps. I can't even check. Actually, I think 1983 we have demos of us like doing the calling and maybe Cry Out, and I forget what the other one was. Some early demos when we first went to the studio. So as far as that early stuff, I used to have it on cassette tapes, a box of cassette tapes of us playing live, but those are long gone. I do not know where those are.
That's too bad. That'd be amazing. Yeah, that would be amazing to put it on like B-sides and live, extra B-sides, on some live CDs or any releases to be able to hear that the early stuff days, because that's nostalgic as far as the music goes, and epic to say the least. Now you changed guitar player, Rob Mapp. Can you tell us a little bit about the addition of him and what he brings to Leatherwolf?
Rob is. I met Rob playing with Bjorn England in Soul Sign. I sang on Bjorn's record. As a matter of fact, Mark Bowles just replaced me in that band, Small World. So Rob played with me and Bjorn. We went to Sweden and did a small tour over there a couple of summers ago, and we were looking for a guitar player, and I said, I got the guy. Rob's great, man. He's a really, really clean player and just one of the coolest guys and easy to work with. No trips, no egos, and just hard-working, honest guy. Does what he says he's going to do and goes where he says he's going to go. So can't say enough about him. He's just a great player and a great guy, and glad to have him aboard doing these shows.
Well, we definitely look forward to him being on the new Leatherwolf album, so I'm looking forward to that. How many songs do you think you'll have?
Sorry?
How many songs do you think you'll have on the album?
We don't really know what to do with it, just because if we're going to do an EP or release a full album, I just want to see how much good material we have before we make that decision. I'd rather release 5 songs, that are solid, or just wait till we have more than to just release what we got because we think we need to fill up a 9 or 10 song record. So it's more about substance, and I don't think we're quite there yet. So we're still working on it, still writing, but you never know. I can't really answer that in a definite track number.
Cool deal.
It's either going to be really good. It's either going to be really good or won't be at all. I will tell you that.
Well, I'm sure it'll be really good. So I don't think you guys will not produce anything that's quality, because that's always been in the staple of Leatherwolf and anything that any of you guys have done as far as releasing something that's quality. So I don't think we'll have to worry about that at all.
I feel good about that too. That we haven't released anything that was I'm ashamed of or that I can't be proud of. Especially this new live recording that's coming out with Roy Z mixing it. Sounds really, really solid. It's like awesome. The way the song should have sounded.
When do you think that'll be released?
We're hoping for it before the end of the year.
Cool. Cool deal.
So keep your eye out for that. We're working on that. It's getting mastered right now. We're just working on the artwork and trying to figure out what we're doing with that. So once that's done, it should roll over pretty quick.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll go viral everywhere. I mean, I think with a lot of the bands that, kind of did some touring and toured a lot overseas and kind of honed their skills and then put something out. There's, the buzz about it. It goes, everybody wants to pick it up through social media and listen to it and share it and buy it and see everybody, when they start to go out on tour. So hopefully you guys will put a decent tour together as well, and definitely come to South Florida where I'm located. So,
that would be really fabulous. That we have a lot of interest in going out into Europe and some talks about some Japan stuff. But we've been talking about that for a long time, so you never know until it's going on. But
with a good release and somebody that wants to put us out there on a good package, then
that's the way it would work. It's really hard to put something out, you release something, but unless you're out touring around and making yourself visible, the shelf life of a record can die pretty quickly. If it's just sitting in a box somewhere.
Yeah, very true. Well, there's always Monsters of Rock 2014, so it's never too late for that one. So, keep those talks going, because I went on it last year, the inaugural cruise, and it was great. The bands were playing, they had good sets, everybody interacted, and it made the environment just so amazing. I was able to see bands that I didn't get a chance to see when I was a kid. So 2013, they upped the level, and I think 2014, they'll add some of the bands that weren't able to get on, this time around, as far as that goes. And if you go through my stream, it's constant Leatherwolf. So, everybody has their particular, everybody has their particular band that they want to see live. And I was getting message back and forth. He's like, I'm trying. I was like, well, try harder. Just get them on the ship. So they always have 2014 open. So
well, right on. I would hope to be on that next time around. I'm not really sure what we did. When we were doing that, what we did back in the day in the '80s and making the 3 records that we did. I think we really kind of realized that sometimes when you're young, and they sent us out to the Bahamas. Island sent us to the Bahamas for 8 weeks at a time to make 2 of those records, and you don't kind of soak it all in, and you're kind of in party mode and living the dream. Sometimes you wish you would have just sucked it in and listened to it a little more. And what I'm trying to say is I believe that there was some magic in what we did, and there's a buzz. There's kind of still that band that never made it, that should have, that I see it popping up a lot. So there is that kind of underground. We're kind of people's best kept secret or something. It's like I see that a lot. So I see a lot of younger generation in metal and at shows and stuff, and a lot of younger kids are getting turned on to our stuff for the first time too. So there's a whole resurgence in the younger world as well. So it's a good time. It's a good time to be making music.
Yeah, the parents have to pass the torch down, and I have a 12-year-old daughter. She's listens to the stuff that I particularly listen to, and she has her music as well. And my son, he's pure 80s rock and roll, heavy metal, Pantera, Quiet Riot, Dokken, Leatherwolf, of course. We can go down the list. So, and he's 10. He genuinely, truly, he'll know the words. He knows the words better than I do. So it's up for us, the parents and the older generation, to kind of pass the torch. Because for me, I have this discussion with people all the time that between this time period and this time period, music had substance. You can be in a certain place at a specific time in a song, and it kind of will resonate and stay there. But with some of the music nowadays, it's just cookie cutter. It's all about corporate and how much money they can make, and they don't have to go through the grind of playing in clubs and putting out their own stuff and eating macaroni and cheese or ramen noodles. They're instant boom. They're on the radio and, flying in private jets a couple months later, and then they'll die out in 2 years and there's somebody else, so it's I think our generation, like the Leatherwolf and other 80s bands, are starting to come out because we want to hear that music again. We want that feeling. I don't think a lot of us that were in the 80s want to let the generation go, but we can still have that generation of music in this time period because we've all matured. The bands have matured. You guys have matured. and you can showcase more musical talent and have more of that business approach to it and put out amazing.
Oh, are you there, Lyle?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, cool.
So, it's an exciting time period as far as music goes, with all the older bands coming back and putting out good material. Now, I'm getting back to the Rock Harbor stuff, since there are a lot of amazing musicians that are going to be 2012.
I think I lost you.
Who, as far as Rock Harbor, can you hear me now? I feel like I'm in a Verizon.
I got to stand right here and not move.
As far as the Rock Harvest 2012 goes, who are you most excited to see play? Besides yourself.
Yeah, right. I don't know, man. There's a lot of cool things going on that night. I always love running into Paul Shortino. Cross paths in Vegas every once in a while. I heard Doug Aldridge is going to be there, right?
Yes.
He's playing then. That'll be cool.
He'll be doing Burn and Rain.
Oh, cool. Mark Bowles and who else? Mandy Lyon's going to be there, right?
Hey,
I don't know if I'd say like who I'd want to see most. I just bet there's going to be some great energy in the room. Just looking forward to being a part of that. I'm looking forward to everybody seeing what goes on, seeing everybody do their deal, and it's just a great cause, and really happy to be a part of it.
Are you going to play with anybody? Is there because I know they're doing the All-Star Jam.
They're talking about like an All-Star Jam at the end. We're passing around emails of what we're going to play and stuff, but nothing's really finalized. It probably won't be until half hour before. You never know.
That's only rock and roll, right?
It's rock and roll. Yeah.
Cool deal. Now, final question, because I know you're very busy as well. Can you express your personal feelings on what it's like to play a benefit and pay it forward, kind of like the Rock Harvest 2012?
Yeah, it's always good to play with benefits. It makes you feel good about yourself, and it just takes it takes it out of it takes the. I guess when you go on stage and you're a headlining band, like everybody's there to see you. You're there, your ticket. But it takes the focus off you and it puts it onto something that is greater than you, which is a cause or an honor or to remember somebody or to do something good for something else. To me, that's what floats my boat. So we always do a lot of charity and whatever auctions we can do, or any kind of the band M.O.B plays at quite a few of them, and Leatherwolf's done a couple of them, and so we're always jumping on those anytime we can help out.
Well, that's good to know.
There's always a good feeling in the crowd. There's in the between the bands. There's always a good vibe, nice positive energy floating around anytime you're into those scenarios.
Well, it's good to see that bands, like yourself and all the other ones, with Don Dokken and Mandy Lyon and Mark Bowles, are going to be taking that stage, Paul Sorrentino, to put out something that is greater, for a greater cause. There's a lot of bands that wouldn't even think twice, so it's good to see that as far as, paying it forward, as Don Dokken said last week when I interviewed him, paying it forward and doing something that is bigger than yourself, and making sure that these families of the fallen blue get taken care of. If their loved ones get hurt, die outside the line of duty, so they protect us.
Absolutely.
Trying to give back a little bit, because he said specifically a lot of the government funding has been cut. So, bands and people that have that platform that are able to do something need to step out a little bit and do something for people like this, and cancer and benefits like that as well too.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good night. Anytime I'm a part of benefits and charity events, or like I said, just memorializations of whatever. It's always makes you feel better about playing music. You know, there's the paycheck's never as good as it's supposed to be anyway. That never makes you happy, you know. So you're always underpaid, but anytime you do a gig, it's never enough money. But anytime you do a charity event or do something for anybody else, it's always the best thing you can do. So it's a win-win situation.
Well, we'll end it on that high note, and I want to say thank you very much for taking your time to discuss Fallen Blue Rock Harvest 2012. We look forward to anything Leatherwolf puts out in the next year or so. I won't hold you to the exact time period, and of course with M.O.B. And thank you for taking the time with Forever in Metal to discuss all these amazing things that you have in store with your musical career.
Well, thanks, Lyle. It was great talking to you, and hopefully to meet you out there in Baltimore next month.
I'm looking forward to it. Keep rocking, man.
Okay, buddy. Have a good one.
You too.
Yes, to the man who stops to look and wonder, he's alive and living without care, past with no regrets, life without a net, loving people for just who they are. To the old souls, all the old souls, raise your glass to the wise and old. To the old souls, all the old souls, we could learn a lot from all the old souls. To the woman who never stops giving, gives when she's got nothing left to give. She'll heal you when you hurt, puts her family first, while dancing in the rain, unrehearsed. To the old souls, all the old souls, raise your glass to the wise and old. To the old souls, all the old souls, we could learn a lot from all the old souls. Love to sing and have a drink or two, so tip your waitress well, just don't end up in jail. And we'll see you here tomorrow for another song. To the old souls, all the old souls, raise your glass to the wise and old.